I went into the setting menu and it changed the song. I do not know why. So for people who like have Twitch Turbo or are over on the YouTube side, I went and played an ad because that's the thing I do when I start stream so that people don't have to deal with ads for like an hour. And then Twitch decided to play an ad as well. And so it stacked up 6 minutes of ads instead of just 3 minutes of ads. So fun. No benefit to the viewers, just it doubles it up. So that's fun. Here, let's go ahead and switch over to this scene. You can see I've had the game open for a little bit because over time the letters slowly drift apart. You know, we only have about a minute left, so I think we'll be good to get started. Wait. New expedition? That's not what I meant to do. I need to switch profiles. It's gonna take a second to load. Cool. Quit. Switch profile. I don't want to be on Archipelago. I want to be on this one. Okay. And the first thing we're gonna do, we need to go to here. I might need to delve into the config files. Rex, hello there. How you doing? If on the next loop it wakes me up there, I'm gonna need to edit the config files. Don't work for the company anymore. Fun. The company. The company. Ah, bright. Okay. So we want to go here. Back doing software dev. Nice. I'm still where I'm currently at, where I was last we spoke. I did apply to Mobius Digital. They got 500 applicants. So, and there's 2 positions. So, yeah. Good luck. Thank you. I should probably check. What? Why? What? Trans wrongs. I have no idea why that just happened. I literally just stood up from my seat. Fucking explodes. Probably you. No, I know that piece. Stranded Nomai. 2 escape pods seem to have been damaged and never launched. I wonder if any Nomai were left behind. Okay. So it looks like we need to go to the vessel. That's a very good Carl emote. Let's hope this time I don't randomly die. Again, no idea why, just suddenly. Yes, I'm going to GDQ. I'm very excited for it. Very, very, very excited for it. Gotta get a van to the airport. Since I live near enough that I'm driving, I'm going to go ahead and help people like transport to and from the airport. Especially since like the tram system's going to be shut down. That really sucks. Probably drive to AGDQ. Can pencil you in then? Sounds good. I have an SUV, so I'll be able to get a good group of folks in at one go. Oh, this is the wrong... Okay. I went the wrong way. Of course it's to the red dot. I don't know why I went to the white dot. Okay. It's about here. Oh yeah, right there. So this story mod that we're doing here, Forgotten Castaways, it was recently added as one of the story mods for Archipelago. So that's part of why I'm playing it now, so that we can have a bigger Archipelago experience. When it comes time, you know? Okay, here. Oh, hey, new thing. Zola. What are you all still doing here? You should be on an escape pod and leaving. Senetti. We tried, but the pod on the far side of the ship is entirely blocked off. We cannot reach it. Nasaya? Unfortunately, that seems to also be true of the pod on this side. We seem to be stranded. Oculus. How are we going to escape from this place? The vessel is our only source of oxygen, so we are unable to just fly away from it. Zola. Despite the frightful appearance of our environment, we do not seem to be in any immediate danger. We should regroup on the bridge and come up with a plan from there. The bridge, which is over here. I think that's up? Or maybe it's down here? Right there. I don't know if that one's original. I think this one's modded, though. Nasaya. That should be the last of the circuitry in place. Is the warp core prepared? Yes, it is. Although this seems to be the only functional black hole core left in the vessel. Okay, then. Go ahead and slot it into place, and we will see if this somehow works. Wait. How did that work? It should be completely impossible for that to function. Yes, I told you it was worth attempting. That means we can escape. I cannot wait to reunite with the rest of our clan. I had started to worry that we would never see them again. Let us not delay then. There's no telling how long that core will be able to hold the singularity open. Everyone, go through. I think this one's vanilla. Yeah, that one's vanilla. Okay. Okay, so... Huh. Okay. So... I'm going to need to grab... black hole core. Okay, so I'm going to need to grab a black hole core, and I'm going to bring it here. What's this one here? So, what exactly is our plan of escape? Do we try to fly out? I fear that such a contemporary strategy may not work here. The vessel is registering very strange readings from the surrounding environment. It is possible that space does not function normally here. What are we to do then? The warp core is damaged, so we cannot simply warp out of the vessel. Perhaps we still can. We have many smaller warp cores throughout the vessel. Perhaps we can use a black hole core to escape. I do not believe that such an endeavor would succeed. A warp requires both a black and white hole, and we have no core with which to establish a white hole. I believe that is still worth attempting, especially seeing as we currently do not have better ideas. I will concede that it is currently the best idea we have. It is settled then. We will attempt to construct a makeshift warp device using one of the smaller black hole cores. I suggest that we do this in the lower bridge, as that area is both near the existing warp circuitry, and it should be easy to create a small area of artificial gravity down there so that we can work. Okay. So... Yeah. So I think the closest spot that I know of, I think we're going to have to go to. I think we're going to need to meditate because I don't think there's going to be any more black hole cores here. Yeah. So the story's interesting so far, but one thing that like I'm a little bit confused on, like maybe this is something that I interpreted incorrectly during like the main game playthrough, but they had like the black hole forge and they were I guess they were experimenting with utilizing black holes and white holes to go back in time. They knew how to use and pair together black holes and white holes already for warping, but they had never realized that the small warps were like small differences in time. So, and then therefore bigger ones were for bigger differences in time. So maybe that's all. Maybe that's the only difference. So they knew about warp technology, but they didn't know about the time relativity piece of it. I think that makes sense. Astral Codec is so pretty. It's one of my favorite mods for just like the pure aesthetics of it. Okay. Decided to regroup at the bridge to discuss how to escape Dark Bramble. A recorder in the bridge told me that the stranded Nomai made a plan to try to warp out of Dark Bramble. I should be able to find more about their experiment in the lower bridge. A recorder on the lower bridge detailed how the Nomai were able to make a black hole that should have allowed them to escape Dark Bramble. Found a strange Nomai device in the lower bridge. The device has a small broken warp core in it. Okay. And so we're gonna go this way. And let's see, this is for the South Pole. You know what? We need to nap for a bit. Okay. Doze off until about the 4 minute 30-second mark. We could maybe do the 5 minute mark, but I want to be safe. It's amazing how much the FPS tanks, it like goes down to 20. Okay. Eh. Oh, I tried. perfect timing. Let me through. Thank you. Look at that. Perfect timing. I know this game perhaps a little bit too well. Ah! I say and then immediately dead end twice. Okay. So we are here because there are black hole cores here. And so now we can go back to our ship over here. Excuse me, thank you. Go out to here. I like the idea of, hey, we just have these random black hole cores. I think after we beat this story mod, it's not related to Archipelago stuff, but I want to play The Stranger They Are. It's like a continuation of the DLC, like explaining more about the Auk. We can get in. So as you can see, you look at the triangle, and the longest edge of the triangle, it's like directly across from the dot. So here. So even if you don't have the waypoint for the vessel, you can very easily get to the vessel. Yeah. Okay. So the little spot of artificial gravity is required because you can only set stuff down, like, in areas with gravity. What? Oh, okay, cool. I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I turn around and there's a black hole. Doesn't make sense lore wise because I think the black hole. No. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, over here. First marker. Know my trail markers, okay. Unfortunately, it appears that our gamble has not quite paid off how we wanted. It would seem that we are still trapped within this strange place. What are we going to do? We have neither the means to return to the vessel nor a source of oxygen. If we do not act quickly, this will almost certainly be our final resting place. If you squint through the fog, there appear to be holes in the walls that surround us. As much as it pains me to say, we may need to split up in search of oxygen. I see 6 holes in the walls. We will each select one and attempt to locate a reliable source of oxygen on the other side. Once one is found, return here and wait to lead the others to it. With any luck, this plan will see us all through this endeavor alive. Visibility in this place is far from optimal, so I will leave a signal beacon here to ensure that we can find our way back. If luck is on our side, it may also lead other Nomai to our current location. Okay. So there's that one. Let's go to this one. The music here is really somber. Huh. Ow. Hey, look. Oxygen. Immediately. Look upon this tree, friends, and know that it symbolizes all we need to survive in this environment. We are Nomai, and we will live so long as we have anything to hold on to. So long as this tree stands, our time is not yet through. So long as this tree stands, we can survive this place. Oculus. Curiously, we all seem to have emerged from the same wooden knot a mere few feet from each other, despite the fact that, when we left, we were quite far apart. Suppose that this place does not obey Euclidean laws. What if this wooden sphere is actually the one we found ourselves in, but we were smaller when inside it? What an intriguing idea, Nasiah. Suppose that, instead, these spheres allow travelers to instantaneously teleport between them. Assuming what you said to be true, that might explain how we were able to warp earlier. What if this place interfered with our warp? Could it have done the same to the vessel? Friends, while the curiosities of this place intrigues me as well, I believe we should focus on securing our survival first and foremost. Sonetti is right. As much as we may desire to study our environment, our first priority should be to locate oxygen and somewhere to construct shelter. There's oxygen next to us. I believe I can see a number of small planetoids over there. Could they be a candidate? I see the objects that Oculus speaks of. There appear to be 5 small planetoids, and I believe I can see a tree on one. That settles it then. The tree will provide us oxygen, and we can set up basic shelter on the planetoids themselves. One of them seems noticeably smaller than the others, so we should use it for building materials. Based upon what we have seen thus far, it may be worthwhile to establish names for the wooden cavities we find ourselves in. Does anybody have a suggestion for this one? It seems quite spacious. We should keep it simple but descriptive. I believe that the name Briar's Hollow should work well. Briar's Hollow. Very low gravity here. Who is responsible for the campsite on the large planetoid near the center of Briar's Hollow? It represents an excellent location for us to build more permanent residence, and I am quite shocked that someone is keeping it to themselves. I've been here putting together shelters. I did not realize there were any other bodies out there. I've investigated the surrounding area some, but I have not yet located this large planetoid that you speak of. I'm inclined to believe our friends, Nasaya, and I do not believe that any of our clan would be willing to keep such a secret from the group. Are you certain that the campsite you saw could not have been a natural formation? I am absolutely certain. There was a small ring of stones with still smoldering firewood inside. Ooh. Quite an interesting find, Nasaya. We should make our way over there and investigate at once. Do you recall where you can find this planetoid? I was concerned that I would be unable to find it again, so I planted a signal beacon near the strange campsite. Nice. Then we should go there at once. If there are other sentient creatures here, it is imperative that we determine their level of hostility as soon as possible. Are you saying that there is a campsite in here that none of us made? That would imply there are other sentient beings here besides us. Is it possible that the campsite was made by other members of our clan? Perhaps they followed us through our makeshift warp setup and are stranded here as well. As much as I would hope for your hypothesis to be true, there were no other structures indicative of Nomai presence, and it has long been outside of our culture to construct campfires. Okay. Wait. I want to see what this is first. Okay. So there's that one. That way. We'll go to the other planetoids later, but I want to know what's going on here. Oh? Ah! No. Oh my goodness. Well. Cool. Good job, me. Where do we wake up? Probably back on Timber Hearth. Unless there's a nicety. Yep. Okay. Oh, hey, I almost forgot. You know how your ship is outfitted with a warp drive you can use from the ship log? Yeah? Well, it's also able to analyze some warp signatures. So if you happen to come across any strange singularities, you might be able to go where they lead and back using your warp drive. It's also able to pull data from your suit, so it can even let you warp your ship to locations that you could previously only access without it. Neat. Trans wrongs. So we can go there with our ship now. Nice. Okay. Deep Bramble. That is a good nicety and a good explanation as to what's happening. This will also make it quite a bit easier to explore around. Okay. Here, let's look at the other trail markers. Not trail markers, the other planetoids. Nothing of interest. Those planetoids over there didn't seem to have anything super interesting with them. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Hole. During my most recent trip to the Eye Signal Lab on Magma's recursion, I noticed that one of the gravity crystals had fallen from its mount and cracked. Due to the high cost of production for these crystals, it may be worthwhile to develop a means by which they can be repaired. I have brought the crystal here for study. I would help, but I am currently fully occupied working on the Distant Node project. Unfortunately, I suspect this is true for all of us, so it may take some time to develop a means to repair this crystal. I understand. I hope we have time to develop a method of repairs soon, however, as I worry other crystals may also fall. I have good news. It seems our friends may have found a way to repair the gravity crystal. If you are interested in learning more, I suggest making your way to the concert hall. Hole. Gravity crystal, okay. Curiously, analysis of the soil composition indicates that this body may be composed of remnants of many others. Do you mean to say that this planetoid is composed of debris from planets that ended up in this place after their destruction? I do. The trees also show characteristics from many catalog species, which, combined with the unique set of nutrients they draw from the soil, may explain the strange color of the fire in the campsite. Interesting. So, this bramble captures planets, or at least planetary fragments, with such frequency that they are able to congeal into completely new bodies. Interesting. Hmm. North and South Pole usually have something interesting, so we're going to the South Pole. Tree house. Perfectly circular hole. Is this the place you wanted to show me, Amalix? That's a new name. That's the friend, I think. Yeah, it's a little place Digilim and I set up when we were kids. It was our secret hideout whenever things got scary, like when the adults would feed the anglerfish. Okay. It feels meaningful that you would bring me here, so close to where our species first made contact. I guess so, huh? I'm really grateful you gave me this necklace. I truly am incapable of expressing how much it means to me. I'm glad that you're glad. Ever since I first met you, I've thought that you were really, well, just great all around, I guess. I know the necklace you made me isn't super traditional, but you know what? I love it. I think it symbolizes us really well. Emilex? Is that how I want to say it? Emilex, you are too kind. You know, ever since we became adults, Digilim kind of stopped coming out here, and well, this is somewhere that I've shared with you now, so maybe we could make it our secret hideout? If that sounds okay with you. Sorry, I know that's kind of childish, especially for a big scientist like yourself. I don't think it would be childish at all, Amalax, and I'd be thrilled to do so. Was there something you had in mind? Well, I was thinking that we could write our names on the wall. After all, what's a secret hideout without a mark to let trespassers know who it belongs to? I think that's a wonderful idea, Amalax. Amalax? Unknown language. Ooh. Interesting. So they wrote each other's name on the wall, I guess. Okay. Campfire. White flame. Okay. Let's start here. Here we are, friends, the campsite I had mentioned previously. There are still a few embers among the logs. It seems likely someone was here fairly recently. Perhaps we will be able to meet them if we remain here long enough. If they were here before, they are likely to return. As curious as I am who constructed this site, this may not be wise. We have no idea whether or not the inhabitants of this place are friendly. Believe we should avoid constructing large structures here for the same reason. Even if these people are friendly, they may not take kindly to us treating this body as our own. Amazing. This body is almost entirely covered in grass and trees. How do you suppose it manages to sustain life in a place like this? We may need to erect a small lab to study the origins of the soil and plant life to properly understand this. Feel free to set up that lab, but remember not to build anything large. We don't want to be too obstructive to whoever set up this campsite. Oh my goodness. I was hiding behind one of the trees on the upper ring and observed one of the campsite occupants return. Really? What did they look like? Did they seem friendly? Worry not, friend. They did not seem to be hostile. I was fairly far away, so I did not have any ideal view on them. However, I was able to tell they have large, ear-like frills on both sides of their head, a large tail, as well as webbed hands and feet. To top it all off, they seem to have no eyes. How strange. How do you suppose they navigate without vision? I'm uncertain, but they did seem to notice me when I stepped out from behind the tree. Perhaps they possess some form of echolocation? Oculus, you were explicitly instructed not to attempt to interact with them. What if they had attacked you? I know, but I was simply too curious to not try to see the other species. We are Nomai, after all. Did they see you as well? If they did, then how did they react? They did not notice me at first. However, when I moved out from behind the tree to try and make contact, they turned towards me before fleeing. Notably, they appeared to swim through the air using the webbing on their hands and feet. Interesting. Very interesting, especially given your note that they did not appear to have eyes. Did they seem to have any obvious reason for returning? Actually, they appeared to be looking for something. I believe that they found it just before I showed myself, but dropped it as they left. It appears to be some sort of painted tablet. Perhaps I should attempt to return it to them. While we had previously decided that it was best to not initiate contact, the fact that they did not attack you seems to indicate they are not hostile. Because of this, it may be best for you to return the item. Absolutely. With any luck, I'll be able to get close enough to them to get a better idea of their appearance. I'm assuming that item isn't here. And I can't drop the gravity crystal in the fire, so. Camp marker. There's another fire. Nope. Is that fire? Nope. Okay. Friends, I am pleased to announce I was successful in my attempt to make contact with the stranger. How did it go? Were you able to get a closer look at them? Were they appreciative of your attempt to return their item? It went well, yes, and maybe. I avoided hiding this time, and upon returning to the campsite, big sneeze. Upon returning to the campsite, they slowly approached me, apparently having noticed that I was holding their tablet. I held it out for them to take, and upon grabbing it, they promptly turned around and left. It appears that they may still be somewhat scared of us, if they fled that quickly. As for their appearance, I confirmed what I observed previously. In addition, their teeth seemed to be sharp to a point, their body was covered in gray skin, and they did have small recesses in their skull where eyes might normally reside. Let us hope that we made a good first impression. They may no longer decide to return now that they have their tablet. On my way over here this morning, I felt certain that I saw shapes flitting about in the fog. Has anybody else observed this phenomenon? I too have noticed this, friend. They seem to be the same species as the person I made contact with recently. They have been quite bold with me. One was stationed directly outside my window this morning, but ran off as soon as I stirred. What should we do? They do not yet appear hostile, but our stalker's behavior is very concerning. I suspect that they will be the ones to make the first move. Remember, stay with one another and do not behave aggressively. I noticed some shapes in the fog when I stepped out of my abode last night as well. I've noticed this as well, Sinetti. I believe that our strange neighbors may be keeping an eye on us. One of our new friends actually approached me today. I believe that it was the same individual that I had previously met at this campsite. Oh? Did they seem to have any particular reason of doing so? As a matter of fact, they led me to somewhere quite interesting. Do you know of the wooden knot that lies in the center of Briar's Hollow, the one that leads back in through an infinite loop? They took me through there, and contrary to what normally happens, I arrived in an enclosed space. I have passed through the knot you speak of, but I have never arrived anywhere that sounds similar to what you describe. Confuses me as well, Nasaya. I am unsure of how to access that area again. I have a hypothesis. I have noted that the hole one uses to enter that... let me start this over. I have a hypothesis. I have noted that the hole one uses to enter that central knot lines up with where they will re-enter this larger area. If we can locate the exterior of the enclosure that you speak of, we may be able to find the hole that will lead us into it. Interesting. How strange. What was the space like? It seems to be completely overgrown, a completely overgrown entrance to Briar's Hollow. They beckoned me through another node, although I did not follow them through for fear of being able to find my way back. Unknown language. Is this our new friend's writing? How exciting. Sinetti, are you able to understand what they have said? Unfortunately, I will need to analyze it more before I can determine what this text says. Though I can assure you I will begin work on my translation as soon as possible. If a member of this other species desires for us to follow them, it may be worthwhile to do so. They have demonstrated they are not hostile, and they may know how to escape from this place. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick fly about the equator. But otherwise, I don't think there's a ton more to explore here. First marker's back over this way somewhere. Okay. So I think... Let's see. So this is directly in. This looks like that. Okay. Okay, so over on this side? here? Nope. Okay, what about this top side then? Hmm. I might be a little bit confused as to what it's saying. Here, let's do this. There we go. Now we're not drifting. Oh, this is cool. Bramble's doorstep. After going through the black hole in the vessel, I appeared in another part of Dark Bramble. Apparently, the four Nomai teleported to the same part of Dark Bramble that I did. With no apparent landmarks, the Nomai decided to split up in search of oxygen. I found a signal beacon broadcasting on the Nomai trail markers frequency. Titan's Tears. Found a small cluster of planetoids with Nomai structures on them. The Nomai decided to use the planetoids to construct shelter, as the tree on the largest provided oxygen. We found an old campsite on the North Pole of a large planetoid in Briar's Hollow. One of the Nomai, against the wishes of the others, lurked near this campsite until a strange alien returned to it. The Nomai revealed himself, at which point the alien quickly fled, abandoning a stone tablet. The Nomai decided to wait again to see if the alien would return. The alien did, and the Nomai was able to return the stone tablet that the alien left behind. In the days after returning the tablet, the Nomai noticed shapes in the fog that seemed to be watching them. An alien appeared to a Nomai named Oculus and led him through a node at the center of Briar's Hollow into a strange enclosed... Okay, it's in the center of Briar's Hollow. Okay. Soil lab. Ad break finishing. Yippee. Small soil lab near the equator of the camp planetoid. There's some sort of broken crystal on the table. Some Nomai tech says there may be a way to repair the crystal in some sort of concert hall. The Nomai discovered that this planetoid seems to be composed of the remnants of many planets. I wonder if that concert hall's in this, like, center spot that we're going to be going to. Hello there. Happy Pride. Thank you for the raid. Shout out to Hawkfanger. Welcome in, raiders. What was everybody up to? How's that? It's been a little while. I'm a little bit rusty on. Hope everyone's doing well. How was stream? How did things go? Hope you're doing well. And happy Pride to you as well. Your Twitch has been doing a thing where it doesn't load streams and also don't want spoilers for this game, so you're gonna raid and run and hope you're having a good one. Super valid. I'm gonna reply to this. Super valid. We are playing a story mod, so no major spoiler, so no direct spoilers about the main game, though I sometimes talk about stuff there. Have fun. Yeah, happy Pride to you as well, Wildheart. We're playing, today, we're playing some Outer Wilds. We are doing modded Outer Wilds, and we're playing through the Forgotten Castaways story mod. Partially because story mods are really cool. Like, this is custom music just for this mod, and that's really cool. But also because this is one of the mods that has compatibility with the Archipelago Randomizer, so playing through it for that additional experience. Quick self-introduction before we continue reading through log entries and such. My name's CrystalENVT, or you can just call me Crystal. The mushroom friend on my head, they are named Leonard, and we're a variety streamer. We play all sorts of different stuff. As we get back into the swing of things, we're going to be playing Outer Wilds story mods, and we're going to be playing Frostpunk 2, but play a whole bunch of different things, basically whatever I'm interested in at the time. But yeah, we're gonna get back to log entries, but if everybody's like, feel free to raid and run, or sit in and have a cozy time. I'm a little bit rusty at this. I streamed once a month ago, and then before that was like 6 months ago, so it's been a little bit. There's some sort of broken crystal on the table. Concert hall. I think that's in the center of the Briar's Hollow. I'm assuming it's related to that space. Though Nomai discovered that this planetoid seems to be composed of the remnants of many planets. I found an old treehouse on Lover's Rock. I found a recording of two individuals named Oculus and Amalix talking before writing their names on the wall. Okay. So, I don't think I want to be here. I think I want to be out there. Okay. And then there's apparently more on Titan's Tears. But maybe it's on one of these rocks here? One, two. I think that's it. I think I've seen everything there is to see there. Oh. Hello there, you. Oh. There's a log here. Natural phenomena. Interesting. Okay. After leaving the area through the opening we found near Titan's Tears, we seem to have emerged into another large open space. Oculus, can you verify the signals of our friends can be found within the node we just left? Give me a moment. Yes, I can detect their signals coming from the knot we emerged from, although there's a large amount of interference. Excellent. That indicates that we should be able to My apologies for the interruption, Nasaya, but I am also detecting their signals in that direction. Interesting. Do you suppose we have arrived back into Briar's Hollow? I suppose so. How interesting. Even though the spatial anomaly from which we first arrived, even seeing the spatial anomaly from which... Reading. I suppose so. How exciting. Even seeing the spatial anomaly from when we first arrived, I never would have expected leaving Briar's Hollow may bring us directly back into it. Suppose this node is recursive in some way. That would explain the curious signal I am detecting coming from it. If it truly is recursive, then this signal may simply be the ambience of this chamber amplified through multiple passings through this node. Interesting. I propose we inform the others of this immediately. A recursive node or dimension pair is certainly an important scientific discovery. Perhaps we go through this, or maybe we go over to that natural phenomena spot. What? This noise is a little terrifying almost. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Ah! Oh. Hmm. Okay, so this is the enclosed space. Oh, I hate that this is giving off this sound. Okay. Um, we're probably gonna die soon. Oh, that's cool down there. Yep. Okay. Let's go down. I'm gonna read this real quick. Um, be wary, friends. The space that lies beyond this node is filled with an extreme heat. If you must enter, be prepared to move quickly. The temperature is sufficient to cook you inside of your suit. We have erected a gravity lift to bring you down to the planet's surface. Find your way into it, and you will be brought into an area where the heat is somewhat dissipated. Simply keep watch for it. It is plainly visible as you approach. Okay. I see it. Excessive heat detected. Gravity. Geothermal activity. Okay. What the heck are you? Okay. A switch. Huh. Is the loop gonna get me? We're good. We've lived past the loop. Oh, nope. There we go. The loop got me. I'm enjoying this so far. It's a little bit unfortunate that, like, because it's a different New Horizons dimension, it has to, like, reload each dimension each time. Wait, one more thing. Here we go again. We did some last minute adjustments to your navigational equipment and made a pretty nice improvement. If you have a signal scope focused on a signal and press your lock on button, you can lock onto whatever signal, whatever the signal is coming from. That's assuming you've fully identified the signal, of course. That's weirdly good timing for you to bring that up. Thanks. Trans rights this time instead of trans wrongs. Okay. So we want to go to Dark Bramble. Did I put on the spacesuit? I should make sure to put on the spacesuit. Okay. I did put on the suit. Let's look at the ship logs. Recursive node. I found a node at the center of Briar's Hollow that leads recursively into itself. I was able to pick up an amplified ambient signal on the natural phenomenon frequency. Enclosed space. I was able to find my way into a strange enclosed space. There seems to be a bramble node tucked away inside. Okay. Shattered hearth. I read that I can repair the broken crystal in the soil lab in some sort of concert hall. The core of the planet is accessible through the many cracks in the rock. There seems to be a bramble node at the center. A Nomai recording warns that the node leads somewhere very hot. Magma's recursion. I heard of somewhere called the Eye Signal Lab on a planet called Magma's Recursion. I can hear some sort of signal reverberating throughout the area that this planet resides in. Okay. That's nice that they gave like a way to quickly warp to the other like signals. Yeah. It said I could warp there. Oh. Is there actually an opening here? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything. Okay, so I think I need to go back to this one. Okay. So it's this one here, I think. Yes. This is the enclosed space. And then we go in here. Okay. Let's look at the other places that are on the surface. Looks like 8 of them. This park appears to be the main social center for these people. I would greatly enjoy deciphering their language, but as it stands, I have nowhere to do my work nearby. I may have some positive news on that front, friend. The alien we first made contact with, assuming I am correctly interpreting their message, is directing us to set up a lab for just that purpose. If that is true, then I am thrilled to hear it. Where are we being permitted to put this lab? That appears to be the catch. We seem to be intended to construct the lab in the area accessible through the knot currently over our heads, which has no bodies with significant gravity. Additionally, while I have been assured that it is quite harmless, there does seem to be some manner of beast in that area. Great. The lack of gravity issue, while frustrating, can be tolerated. As for the beast, if it means deciphering the language of these people, then I will be able to power through, regardless of how hideous it may be. We all appreciate your courage in the pursuit of discovery, Sinetti. I believe I may be able to assist with your gravity issue. I have detected a strange signal in Briar's Hollow that seems to be some manner of natural gravitational disturbance. Excuse me. That is quite an interesting find, Nasaya. Now that we are better acquainted with our newfound friends, I propose you and I investigate that signal at once while Sonetti and Oculus begin constructing a translation lab. With the low visibility of this place, I suspect signals such as that will be highly valuable. Alrighty. Yeah, I knew this looked important. That performance was beautiful. I never suspected that these people would have such wonderful vocalizations. Suppose that the physiology of their vocal organs are different from ours. I fail to even imagine how one of us might create those sounds. Interesting hypothesis, Nasaya. We will have to see what Sonetti can discover once he completes his analysis of these people's language. I know it is for a good reason, but I still struggle to understand how he was willing to miss this performance to continue working. Hopefully, he has an opportunity to relax soon. I hope so too. But you know that distracting Sonetti after he begins work on a translation is as simple and painless as a dental extraction. Okay, so this is the concert hall. Language I can't translate yet. Good news, friends. I have been given approval to take part in the tradition of sharing our culture in this concert hall. Our new neighbors state that so long as we refrain from constructing walls which interfere with their concert hall's acoustics, we are free to write in here. That is good news. I imagine us writing here will also allow for our new friends to leave thoughts of their own. I look forward to seeing the similarities and differences between our cultures. I imagine it will be quite interesting to observe. During my discussions with Ditalim, I have noted our new friends do not seem to record their history. If anyone who knows more finds this, would they please explain how your people's history is tracked? I've been curious about something. If any of our new friends are able to answer, where do you originate from? Do your people originate from the Bramble, or do you have a record from outside? I'm gonna need that translation. I'm curious. How do you all, how, med check? First of all, hello, Callista. Hope you're doing well. And second of all, I have had my meds for today, but it's very important that everybody makes sure to have a med check of their own. Uh, Keeping up on your meds is one of the best ways to make sure that you're feeling your best, you know? I'm curious how you all managed to deal with the proximity of the anglerfish. I cannot imagine they are ideal neighbors. Amalix. Um, One thing we have noticed, especially given recent events, is how your people seem to be a bit too accepting of circumstances. While this has been changing some, uh, I was curious what brought about this attitude in the first place. And then something from their people. Hmm, a pipe fell off. Excuse me. I've heard that a method has been developed to repair gravity crystals, and that I should come here to find out more. Does it have something to do with the new bells aligning the stage? Hmm. 5 spots there. Okay. Interesting. Is that everything for this place here? May have specialized singing organs. One of the Nomai did not attend the show as he was busy translating the alien's language in a lab. There are 5 large bells near the stage with a hexagonal slot above each. The leftmost bell is broken on the ground. There is a text alluding to a way to fix gravity crystals, but not all of the text is written in Nomai. Alien Park. A Nomai recording made it seem like this planet is the main area that the aliens live in. Okay. Um. Hmm. Let's see real quick. This isn't quite the North Pole, but it's close enough that it would be easy to find again. And then tree right there. Okay. And so the spot that's directly above. So this one here. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Ah. Wait. The anglerfish is dead now. And they set up the lab inside of the anglerfish. Oh. Oh. Shit. Okay. Fuck. What? Why am I here? Hmm. Well, that was unexpected, but very funny. Hmm. I think this one leads to the center. Nope. think it's this one. Seems not. Back out we go. Perhaps opposite side of that? Yes. Yeah. Shoot. Luckily, we can repair this pretty simply. No! Okay. In we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go do the lava stuff first? Because I do not see how I'm gonna be able to get past those super speedy anglerfish. Ow. Excessive heat detected. Okay. Translation time. Our new friends were not exaggerating. This area is quite hot. I will be quite relieved when we set up the portable life support. I will as well. I fear we would not survive long in this heat otherwise. I don't seem to be able to fire my port side thrusters, which is making maneuvering difficult. I seem to have lost vertical thrust. I believe the excessive heat may be interfering with our propulsion systems, so we're not going to be able to use our jetpack. I would advise we retreat for the moment. I actually seem to have lost all thrust. I may require assistance to return. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case for all of us. It seems that we are trapped here for the time being. The temperature here is entirely inhospitable. If we are unable to find a way to propel ourselves soon, we aren't going to make it out. Is the heat affecting my vision, or is there movement coming from the entrance? There is. Seems our friends have noticed our plight and have come to retrieve us. Digilim, hey, we noticed that you stopped moving. I thought you were going to go to the surface to set up life support. We were, but it appears our propulsion systems failed due to the heat. We told you it was a bad idea to come far in here. Weird signal or not. Come on, let's get you out of here. Thank you. Once you get us out of here, we should be entirely able to modify our propulsion systems to handle the heat, making our return trip much more successful. Ha! And here I thought you couldn't tell a joke without the science of it going over my head. By the Bramble, you're serious, aren't you? Okay, we can use our jetpack, but they couldn't initially. I'm assuming this is life support. I'm quite thankful our friends mounted that rescue operation. When my pack lost thrust, I was certain we were to be cooked. I'm thankful as well. Honestly, we should have considered the possibility of equipment failure under this heat, especially after we saw how it was used to cook anglerfish eggs. It was certainly a miscalculation on my part. I cannot help but wonder how they first started stealing those eggs. The anglerfish hardly seem like the kind of beasts you would want to approach. Actually, one of the language samples I analyzed during my translation is an old story that seeks to explain exactly that. As the story goes, they had found a massive anglerfish keeping watch over a clutch of eggs. The ancient aliens were starving as they had failed to find food for days and began devising a plan to steal the eggs. They ultimately decided to distract the mother with a massive rock that was in the vicinity, hoping that slamming it into a nearby wall would lure the mother away for long enough to grab a few of the eggs and flee under pursuit. However, when the mother reached the rock, she did not turn around and pursue the thieves. Instead, she sank her teeth into the rock and stayed there, drifting with it. This distracted the fish long enough for the aliens to take as many eggs as they wanted. Supposedly, the fish was still lashed onto the rock as they left. Okay, so we use our scout, launch it near, and the anglerfish will latch onto it, allowing for us to fly through. Got it. What an interesting tale. Why do you suppose the mother behaved like that? Are the fish unable to distinguish between organic and inorganic prey? An interesting hypothesis, Nisaya. I would love to test it. If it were not for the fact our friends would likely not appreciate us feeding rocks to their fish. I sincerely hope that this turns out to be a story of triumph rather than one of starvation. Is everybody alright? Yes, I believe so. I have taken the liberty of deploying portable life support, so this crater should remain cool and oxygen rich, at least relatively speaking. Excellent. We should begin exploring once we have our bearings. Our top priority should be finding somewhere with shelter from this heat. Our equipment will not survive long enough to analyze the signal in this environment. I believe it is possible to hear the signal without equipment, which would suggest reception will not be an issue. Okay. More life support, cool. Writing. Since the heat of this planet does not seem to relent on the surface, it seems inadvisable to establish a permanent residence here. Therefore, I would suggest we simply construct a lab to study the eye's signal. While I know the signal is our main focus, I believe I have found an additional item worth investigating. Some distance away, there is an opening in the side of a hill. This opening leads to a rock that seems to move when... Ooh, another quantum signal, okay. When unobserved. I would certainly like to study this mysterious stone. I struggle to imagine what may cause this sort of behavior. I believe I may have found a suitable location for this lab. On another island, I found a cave leading down. It leads into an area filled with gas, but I believe the upper area may be cool enough for our equipment to function correctly given the assistance of environmental regulation. Very good. We will set up a lab there, after determining how best to contend with the gas. In light of the discoveries of the others, I have begun construction of a road to lead to both locations. It should help with navigating the hazardous terrain. Good idea, Sinetti. We don't want anyone to become lost with the constant heat of this planet. I'm happy to report our relations with our new friend seems to be going well. In fact, Amalex saw fit to deliver a gift to me. That is good to hear. However, I have to wonder, Oculus. May I ask what the nature of this gift is? It is a lovely necklace, woven from several small vines which seem to have been made to grow around one another. I am honestly unsure how he must have made it. Perhaps he used the druidic influence his people seem to have? Whatever the case, it must have taken some time to create. Yes. I suspect that might be the case. Oculus, I feel I should inform you that, based on my studies of these aliens' culture, a necklace such as that is a key component of the traditional courting ritual. Yep, I kind of got those vibes, hence Lover's Rock. Usually, the intended recipient will either refuse the necklace, indicating a lack of interest, or accept it and gift the initiator with a similar necklace. That is quite a situation, Oculus. May I ask how you responded to the gift? How I responded? Oh no, I stated I took it as a surefire token of the continued friendship between ourselves and our species. He extended an offer of partnership, and I, for all intents and purposes, called him a very good friend. This is disastrous. Accidental friend zoning. Are you certain? A courting ritual? That would imply... Was Amalix asking me to be his partner? How do I properly respond to that? Well, I would guess by either refusing or accepting the offer. Which one you chose is up to you, though I would strongly suggest you make a decision soon. I suspect that you left Amalix quite confused. Refuse or accept? If that is the case, then, Sine, would you be willing to help me gain a better understanding of his language? I believe I have a message important enough that it must be written by hand. Fun. Why do you suppose this area remains so hot? Certainly, it should have cooled to some degree after such a long time. A fair question, one that had occurred to me as well. Currently, my standing hypothesis is that the seeds surrounding the planet lead recursively into this area, based on how they seem to have the same glow. An astute observation, but I fail to see how that explains the heat. If the planet is surrounded by recursive seeds, it is possible for heat that should leave the area to instead be redirected back inside, maintaining a very high temperature. Interesting. Okay. I imagine if I touch the magma, it's going to be disastrous. Okay, it's a very slow burn. Yeah, quantum fluctuation in the area. Warning, the chamber below is flooded with very flammable gas. It is important that no open flames are brought into the cave, especially those that are particularly intense. Flying, no jetpack. No jetpack in here. Geek, hello there. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Some random geek. It's Pride Month, mutter fluffers. So true. Pride Month. Flammable gas detected. Messiah, I believe this cave should prove to be an adequate location for any equipment we might use to study the signal of the... I'm sorry. I need to get back into the habit of stream things. It's been so long. Geek, I hope you had a nice stream. Thank you for the raid. I really do appreciate it. What were you up to? What were you playing? And also, if you need to raid and run, I totally understand that. Stream can be a strenuous thing. Fun, but strenuous. So if you need to do some self-care, make sure to do that. I'm Crystal, or CrystalENVT. Mushroom on my head is Leonard, variety streamer, play all sorts of different things. Currently, we're going to be playing Outer Wilds story mods, and also some Frostpunk 2. Those are the main things I intend to be playing in the near future. But basically whatever I'm interested in is what we will play. Messiah, I believe this cave should prove to be an adequate location for any equipment we might use to study the signal of the eye. In particular, the upper chamber across the ceiling looks well insulated. With some environmental regulation, the overheating of our equipment should be a non-issue. A good find, Messiah, but how do you propose we get up there? The gas in this cave prohibits the use of our thrusters. Stream was alright. Stream some Wuthering Waves for the time. It is a gacha game. Gotcha. Gotcha about the gotcha. Wuthering Waves. I don't think I've heard of that one before. Looking it up on the other screen. Got some pretty characters for the images I'm seeing here. Open world action RPG with a high degree of freedom. You wake from slumber as Rover. Resonators on a journey to reclaim your lost memories. Summon the lament. Surmount the lament. Neat. Want to try out the Cyberpunk Edge Runners content? Nice. Yeah. I hope you have fun with that. I believe gravity crystals constructed from the material of Graviton's Folly should be useful. We could make specialized mounts to place the crystals in, amplifying their effect to the level we would need. In my experience, the collecting and application of that material will be time consuming, and there may be other portions of the ceiling that are worth exploring. I propose these mounts should allow for the removal and replacement of these crystals. Then we may explore more while additional crystals are fabricated. Good idea, both of you. A series of removable gravity crystals would allow us to explore the full area while resources are relatively low. We should begin construction of this system immediately. Okay. Yep. Oh, really? Oh, really? Come on. No. Okay. So there's some big ones and some small ones. Fuck. Oh? Too much heat damage? How's the game? How is the stream? Stream's been going well. Getting back into the swing of things, kind of. It's been a month since the last stream, and it's been 6 months before that, so very rusty with stream stuff. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. This is a story mod for Outer Wilds called Forgotten Castaways. We're about 2 hours into the mod, and the mod page says it's about a 6 to 8 hour experience. So yeah, it's been good. Found a cave at the bottom of a long tunnel. My suit warns me that the gas inside is extremely flammable. In the interest of safety, the Nomai used portable gravity crystals to navigate up to the lab. Unfortunately, many of the crystals have broken, detaching from their sockets. I don't think think enough are intact to let me cross, so I need to repair the crystal, which needs to be done at the it needs to be I need to get it from the soil lab, and I take it to the concert hall. There's something at the concert hall to repair it, but I need to be able to translate it properly. I like how the debug cubes are shown. Yeah, interesting. I can hear some sort of signal reverberating through the area that this planet resides in. Nomai nearly died upon entering the vicinity of Magma's recursion, but a group of aliens came in and rescued them. Found a transcription of an ancient alien story. According to it, the aliens were able to get an anglerfish to latch onto a giant rock while they stole its eggs. Found a cluster of abandoned Nomai buildings. Due to how inhospitable this area is, the Nomai decided not to settle here and instead only set up a couple of labs. To help with investigation, the Nomai constructed a road that leads to both of the landmarks that they found. Nomai thought that the excess heat may be due to many recursive seeds funneling heat back towards the already burning planet. They also believe that this may be what prevented the Eye of the Universe's signal from fading away. A Nomai named Sinetti informed a Nomai named Oculus that a gift he received from an alien was likely part of a courting ritual. Okay. I'm not going to explore too much during the ad break. It's just going to be getting back to where we were. Okay, so that side, so we need to get over to the opposite side. Is it this one? If it's not this one, it's the one to the left. This doesn't look like the correct one, so we're backing out. Okay, so into here. Huzzah. Do, do, do. What do we think? It might be good to try and do the translation. I think I know enough for that. Let's actually fly the ship to that spot. Okay. So trees over here. So we want to go there for translation. I just saw something interesting. What are you? Ad break finishing up. Welcome back, folks. What the heck are you? Huh. The bedrooms? Oh. Hello there. Hello. My name is Messiah. It's my understanding that you are the head druid of your people. Is that correct? Karenia. Yes. Why do you ask? I was hoping you may be able to give some insight on the circumstances surrounding the rest of our clan. Is that within your capabilities? Maybe. I can commune with the bramble enough to figure out their fates within its walls, but I won't be able to figure out what might have happened outside. I believe that will be sufficient. 3 pods were launched from the vessel. Can you ascertain what happened to them? Let me see. Okay, I have the vines talking about the vessel, and yes, they're saying that objects escaped. They actually seem a little confused. That doesn't happen often. Wait. Oh no. I'm so sorry. But it seems like one of the pods didn't make it. I'm hearing talk of a captured object. No. Can you determine which pod it was? Who was aboard? I'm sorry, but it's all jumbled. I can't tell anything specific without knowing something about the people. Sekka, please, please. I need to know if Sekka is unharmed. Hold on. I'll ask. I'm so sorry, but I'm hearing echoes of that name. The bramble only ever learns a name when it claims the person it belonged to. Seems that they were caught without air and asphyxiated. No, no, please, are you certain that she perished? There is no mistaking it? I'm sorry, but the vines are very clear. Was she someone that you knew? She was my love. I'm sorry. I can't. Wait, Nessa, Nasaya, where are you going? That's sad. Unfortunate. There's another one of these pods up here. And it looked like maybe one over there as well. This one, the light seems burned out. Okay, so there's... Interesting. There's another over here, and then there's a spot over there I'm seeing. I'm gonna see this one, and then I'm gonna go refresh my jetpack fuel. Looks like there's one there, but this has a light, so... That's unfortunate for Nasaya. Amalix, can I converse with you for a moment? There have been recent developments that have been troubling me. Oh, sure, I guess. What do you want to talk about? The other Nomai and I have recently learned that a large portion of our clan perished in the Bramble, one of them being Nasaya's partner. Naturally, everyone has found themselves demoralized, and I am unsure what I can do to remedy the situation. Oh, Bramble, I'm so sorry. Nasaya believes that we will never be able to escape the deep Bramble. This outlook has spread through everyone else like a miasma. I mean, would that be such a bad thing? Excuse me? Hold on. Hear me out. Ever since you guys showed up, you've made comments on two main things. One, that the Nomai are intensely curious, and two, that the Deep Bramble is probably the weirdest place that your people have ever found. However, you also keep saying a third thing, which seems to contradict those two, and that's that you desperately want to leave. I know that you all want to see the rest of your people again, but if that's not possible right now, why not make the best of the situation? That's actually a very solid argument. At this point, it has become clear that escape is not easily achievable. Perhaps investigating the phenomena surrounding us would be the most efficient use of our time. That's the spirit. I mean, there are so many things you guys could try and figure out, like how the space inside the nodes work, how things end up in the deep bramble in the first place, and that signal that came through a while back and ended up stuck in the area around magma's recursion. Wait, a signal? Amalix, when did this signal first appear? Pretty shortly before you guys showed up, actually. Some of us actually thought you all might have caused it. The eye. That's the only explanation. The signal from the eye of the universe must have passed through here. You said it is still reverberating through the area surrounding magma's recursion? I must notify the others immediately. This is sure to spark their curiosity. Wait, Oculus, don't run off so fast. That whole area is super dangerous. Oh, Bramble, I hope the other Nomai are more careful than he is, or they might get themselves killed. Fun. More writing. I think this is the confession letter. Okay. Let's see what this one says, but then we need to return to land. I think this would be pod number 5. Yeah, nothing special in there. Okay. Time to return to land. Okay. What? Oh, come on. Okay. Maybe I can fly around the backside. Ah, there's nothing back here. This is the small rock. Okay. Hmm. So I don't think I actually know enough. So I think I need to get out of here. Okay. I thought I knew enough, but apparently... Oh, the rock. Apparently, Scout is not rocky enough for rock purposes. Lurk dinner's ready. Tacos. Nice. Tacos are very good. That's what the sound is. It's quantum fluctuations. Okay. Got the white fire here. Quantum disruption time. Oh, shoot. Okay. I love their use of perfectly circular holes. Oh. Hello there, you. How do you suppose this rock achieves its behavior? It appears to be move exclusively when it is unobserved. Perhaps it is some sort of macroscopic quantum behavior? It may exist in all locations at the same time, but collapses to a single possibility once observed by a conscious being. If this is the case, it may hint at the nature of the eye as well. This rock seems to emanate a signal similar to the one reverberating through this area. An interesting idea. This may indeed be the case. I can think of no other explanation for how it may relocate itself so dramatically. While this is an interesting find, it is a shame that it does not seem to be useful to our current goals. I had hoped that this would help us locate the eye of the universe. Actually, I believe that I may have accidentally found an additional behavior of this rock. When text obscured by object, it seems that text obscured by object. Even more interesting, but I still fail to understand how this would aid us in reaching the eye. I am still putting together details. In particular, I want to bring Karenia to observe this phenomenon. But I believe that this may be useful to a proposal of mine I am calling the Distant Node Project. I encourage you all to join me here sometime when I have more of the details worked out. I will be able to explain the idea in full then. Okay, well... Okay, it seems just the two spots. Oh. Hot shard. Okay. Ah! Natural phenomena. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. There's no writing here. I think. Huh. I need to figure out how to do the rock thing that's discussing. But I think at this point I need to just get out. Okay. Time to heal up. And let's review log entries. Found a cave in the side of a hill. Magma's recursion. It's useful to something called the Distant Node Project. There's more details on a scroll in the cave, but a cooled lava flow is making it impossible to read fully. Despite the condition of the wall, the scroll itself appears on. Ooh, okay. So I need to take the scroll to a different location, perhaps the eye lab, and we'd be able to read it there. Okay. I found a Nomai recording where one of the Nomai learns what happened to the third pod. One of the Nomai became excited when informed of a mysterious signal that became trapped near somewhere called Magma's recursion. Okay. Well, I guess we can quickly try to... not there. You. I don't have a live time, but maybe I can try out a little bit more with this. Okay. Well, as much as I would love to continue playing, I think that's a pretty good wrap-up point for tonight. We learned a lot. Soil lab. It's connected to the concert hall. Seems to be gravitational in nature. Okay, I need to find that one. Organic and inorganic prey. Okay. Okay, so that's probably off of Alien Park, so I'm gonna need to find that next time. Okay. Again, I think that's a really good place to leave off. I had a lot of fun today with this. I intend to come back tomorrow for some more Outer Wilds and hopefully a longer session. Yeah, and then Saturday and Sunday mornings would be for Frostpunk 2. Yeah. Okay. Let's find a friend to raid over to. Ba-ba-bum. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So many options. I know nothing about Final Fantasy VIII, but let's go ahead and raid on over to Vicky Sanctus. I have done some stream stuff with Vicky in the past. We were doing a GDQ submission together for Games Done Queer. Yeah. I hope you all send all of the love over to Vicky, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. Take care, friends. Bye-bye. Chaos. To the end.